and it's the most fundamentally important bunker on the field. And with Sacramento Excessive, they've had Riley Sullivan get really good penetration on that D side of the field, but not able to get the production they need out of him once he gets to those spots. And then same thing with Thomas Taylor over here on the Snake side. But obviously it's not up to just those two guys in the second game with Sacramento Excessive playing Texas Storm. And Texas Storm is another one of those hungry teams in the Challengers division. And then after that, we'll start off the Champions Division with Los Angeles Infamous and Omaha Vicious. Todd, what do you have to say about that first pro game, as you are the coach of Omaha Vicious and you used to coach and play for LA Infamous?
Well, like I had said when I called you the other night, Maddie, I'm like, of course we're playing LA Infamous first game of the event. Of course we are.
I saw that at home, and
it's going to be a good one. I mean, we'd have it no other way. Back here, we're really happy to be back in the Champions Division. Had to earn the spot back in there, but LA Infamous is a really, really good team. They're really hungry. They had a great first event. Second event, they were a little disappointed. They had just one bad day, but felt that they really played well on the second day and could have gone farther. They fought for relegation and stayed in the Champions Division, but I mean, it's going to be a good game. Obviously, I know those players. They're really talented. They're really cohesive as a unit right now, so it's going to be a tough game for us.
And the thing with that first Champions game with Infamous taking on Vicious is that Infamous did win this event last year, and they did have a really bad day to start off the last event at the Mid-Atlantic Open just a couple months ago, and they don't want to repeat that. So they, I think that you guys, Vicious, are going to get a very intense Infamous because they stumbled so much the first day last time. That just didn't really look like their team, except with the exception of Bobby Villas, who's actually the Top Gun leader right now. Check out the statistics on the website, and Bobby Villas is in the lead right now for the Top Gun title.
I'm glad you brought that up, though, because Maddie and Todd, as you guys both know, I play with Infamous as well. Mm-hmm. They're a slow starting team. They're not a morning team.
No, they're not a morning team.
They're not a morning team. So usually coming out of the box, they usually spot you 2 or 3 points. But I guess, it's to be decided, seeing what happens. And Todd, knowing this team very well, I'm sure you're going to take full advantage of thinking about that. But as you said, aggressive team out there. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I saw Damian Ryan walking up here this morning, and he's wide awake. That's a guy you got to be worried about. But we got some tricks in the bag. We've been working hard at practice too. The guys are very determined. It's been a pleasure working with the Vicious guys, over these past few months now, because they're really talented, really highly intelligent group of individuals. And being able to pick up Keith DeVitt and Luis Munoz, to get a little bit more depth, a little bit more athleticism, I think has been really good for this team. So, we got 10 guys now. They're all pretty solid. They love being together, and we're ready to come out here and see what we can do. Try and hurt some people's feelings and prove the point that we belong here.
Well, I can't wait to see what Munoz is going to bring to you guys. Now, again, I'm not expecting the world, but there's so much. You guys have had really solid attackers and Brian Bortle, but the team had lost a couple guys. There's a little bit of stuff going on with the roster, and it's been such a cohesive unit for so long. I think it's good to get some new blood in there, and also you want to take a deep roster to Chicago. We're heading into summer now, and anytime you come to Chicago in late June, sometimes it's really hot over here, and if you're running 5-6 guys all the time, you're asking a lot of those players to compete at a very high level if it's super hot and humid. Now, right now, this is perfect paintball weather, not a cloud in the sky. It's the light breeze. It's really nice out right now, but as we all know, we've played numerous events over the years in Chicago. It can get very hot and humid out here, so it's good to have that deep roster and bring those fresh legs to bear.
Yeah, it definitely hurt us losing Phil Kank. He was such a talented player over there on that Doritos side, played so methodically. He's a lot like Zach Sherman, the way that they move, the way that they gun battle, but we're going to be replacing him with Keith DeVitt, who isn't as skilled as either of those guys as far as gun battling goes, but he's just a pure natural athlete. He's so fast, he's so versatile, he can play all over the field. It's going to be exciting to see what we can do out here.
Yeah, so before we get to that infamous Vicious game, the first Champions League game of the day, we are going to have 2 Challengers Leagues teams throwing down on this main field, and we're going to be right back after this.
Opportunities, both with the sport of paintball and for your business. If we are successful in taking our sport to another level, unite with Paintball Access in our quest to elevate paintball and broadcast it to the world. There are advertising packages available for any size business. Join us. Advertise with PBA and help us change the sport for the better, forever.
All right, welcome back here, man. First day of the 2013 PSP Chicago Open, third stop on the tour, and we're about to watch Sac DMG throw down against T1 Topgun Union. I love both I like watching both these teams play, but I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Top Gun because they just got Heyman Chapman and Steven Lasher back. They already have talent on that team, and they're playing a team that they've played a lot before. You know, both these teams were Division I teams before they made the bump up to the Professional Challengers League, and they're scrapping down. But I think that with the talent the T1's got, you know, if they really work hard, I think that they could, you know, probably eventually make their way and have a shot at advancing up to the Champions Division.
Well, you talk about T1 and the players they got. They have depth. I feel like they have many, I'd say at least 8, 9 good players on that team. Everybody on that team is pretty decent. I feel like DMG runs with their starting 5 a lot, you know? So if some of those guys don't get going, I'm not sure how deep their bench is. But, I mean, the guys that they do have in their starting 5, you know, with Duffy, Schrader, Shane Howe, you know, they got some ballers out there. So, you know, Borromeo, I mean, Borromeo can ball. So, you know, I really want to see if these guys can get it going early, especially on this field layout.
Yeah, you know, and like it's Shane Howe, and this is a snake. This is a pretty good snake field. As you know, Todd, you've been practicing for a while. Shane Howe is one of the better snake players in the game, even though he's 40 years old.
He is.
Yeah, he is
40 years old.
I know. You know, I mean, I've been friends with the guy for a long time, as both of you as well. So we've seen him come up. The guy hasn't lost a step.
Well, he's one of those guys, and I hate guys like this, but they're just ageless. They're ageless.
I know.
You know, it's just Shane looks like he's 25 years old, not an ounce of fat on him, and still real fast.
Yep.
And he's a big asset to the squad. He's been around for a long time. He's a leader, and he's one of those guys that we've seen him play against high-level competition in big games before and step up. So I'm expecting him to have a big tournament with this field layout the way it is. And on the flip side, Trenton Topgun sending out Ryan Martin, Heyman Chapman, Alvin Johnson, and Chris Shear so far. Ready to go here. Just a few seconds before the start of the very first point of the tournament here, 2013 PSP Chicago Open. Can't wait to start the competition and see how these guys start to break it here on the split screen breakout.
That was Duffy and Schrader right there from DMG getting ready to break out to the Dorito side.
Top Gun on your left-hand side, DMG on your right here on the breakout. And look at this super aggressive move off the break for T1 Top Gun Union. And it looks like Ryan Martin gets past the 50-yard line, runs right past the flag, and he gets taken out, but he also gets, looks like Borromeo coming off for DMG. Started out, so both teams have a player in Snake 1 right now, shooting cross field.
You know, and we talked about the snake. Look at the crossfield shot we got right there. You can see him shooting through that gap on the top right-hand side of your screen. There's a lot of crossfield shot, Todd. And
move being made on the Dorito side, but it looks like Top Gun loses Shear over here on the snake side. So now only 3 bodies left alive for T1. Sac DMG, 4 bodies alive, and they are the only team that has somebody in that snake. You can see there the back line for Top Gun. Over here on the snake side of the field, back corner bunker, only player left alive on this side trying to do damage control.
Heyman Chapman making the bump up on the Dorito side to the tall tower. Picks up the player from DMG coming across into the snake, into the third knuckle of the snake right now.
And DMG pushing down the Dorito side of the field. And a little bit of chaos over there. Still 2 bodies left alive over here on the snake side for DMG. So they are going to take the first point.
And Andrew Johnson taking the walk in the back corner, trying to hold things down back there, Matty. But unfortunately, coming down that Dorito side, as you talked about, breaking the game open on the far side of the field for DMG.
And it looks like Nathan Schroeder was the one who, I wasn't going to say he did all the work. He definitely didn't do all the work, but he got 2 kills. And then everyone spread it out for Sac DMG as Duffy gets 1, Borromeo gets 1, and Brusselback gets 1. So, you know, the only one with the goose egg, Shane Howell, on that point.
Well, but Brusselback getting in the snake really quick. So, you know, I'm like you said, it looks like they have a little bit of depth in the snake side.
Yeah, so they hang that flag up. Looks like the point is going to go to DMG as long as he is clean. And we're going to be right back after this.
Ever wonder how your order gets from ansgear.com to you? Using our fast and efficient processing method, your purchase is pulled, verified, and shipped to your door quickly and accurately. Every order is checked for accuracy 3 times before it leaves the warehouse. With your choice of free shipping on orders over $100 to next day, Saturday, or international shipping options, You get the products you need sooner and at an affordable price to get you back in the game. Shop now at ansgear.com.
And we are back here. The overhead shot of that crazy center of the field. And right away, we are, Chris, you called this when we were talking earlier, is that there are a lot of options on this field, and up that center, you definitely can get up there and wreak havoc. And
Yeah.
we saw Ryan Martin right out the gate, first point, run right past the 50-yard line. So I think that's probably going to be a little taste of what we're going to see all weekend long here.
Yeah, this field is built for players such as when I used to play. The field up the middle, you can see there, it's a beautiful, beautiful wall. Even the old guy can get up there these days because it's just one big wall. But once you get up there, there's so many angles and so many options like you had talked about.
You just have to get through that first gap. I mean, paintball, in case you haven't seen the game before, it's one of those minute to learn, lifetime to master type things. But off the break, because there are no obstacles, no bunkers to hide behind back there, you need to run and gun, and break through that initial lane and get to your spots. And up the center, in order to get up there alive, you just need to get through that first 20 feet or so before you're a lot safer.
Yeah, without question. And like you said, this feels unusual because there's no back center bunker, Matt. You got to get out of the back and you got to get outside quickly.
And here we go on the breakout, looking at Top Gun, trying to get out wide, able to spread the field nicely and try to get into Snake One off the break, but so Snake One losing a body.
Steven Lasher getting shot out of the back center early for Top Gun Union. And 15th, Cyril Akita coming out as well, coming towards the snake side for Top Gun. They lose another body. There goes number 24, Lance Hardwick.
Ooh, and they lose another body too. So it is not looking good right now for Top Gun as they lose 3 bodies essentially off the break. So here comes DMG trying to put another one on the board.
And that last player, Michael Smith, going to come blocking out of that snake corner. So DMG off the get right here, goes up early 2-0. Shot Steven Lasher off the break and then just started chopping up the bodies one by one.
Well, getting in the snake right away was Top Gun. But unfortunately, coming around that Snake One side, Matty, he actually got clipped in the pack across the field. So that's one thing. I think he got in there, Matty, but he could have done some damage. But instead of doing damage, he tried to take a little bit more than he could have, and unfortunately, getting clipped in the pack and taking a walk.
Yeah, it's almost one of those points though. If you're Top Gun, that's when you really got to shrug off because they lost 3 guys really early, and they really didn't have much of a chance to get any sort of offense going. And DMG is looking really good. Looks like they've really got their shots zoned in. I'm sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I'm sorry, Matty. I just saw a yellow flag find the field. So after this commercial break, we'll come back and talk about the minor and major penalties in case you guys don't know.
Welcome back here. Top Gun Union taking on DMG in the Challengers Division. And, man, it looked like we had a penalty, but, Chris, I don't see it on the board. But let's break it down real quick for everybody at home in case you're unsure about how the penalties works. Real simple. You have minor penalties and you have major penalties. Minor penalties are signified by a yellow flag being thrown in the air by a referee, and majors are signified by a red flag being thrown in the air. You want to stay away from those reds as much as possible if you're going to get penalties. Penalties are going to come. It's just like any other sport. Penalties are going to come, but penalties kill you in paintball because what happens is if it's a minor, you get a 1-minute penalty. You have to go to the box, and you have to spend a minute in the box, and then you're allowed to come out after that. And majors are 2 minutes. Minors come off the board, though, if you lose the point, but majors stay on the entire 2 minutes. So if you do draw that major penalty, and major infractions are for obvious blatant hits playing on with and impacting the game in a severe way. Minors are if you did get hit, but it was an unobvious hit, you got clipped in your pack, or maybe your loader as you were diving in, but then you continue to shoot your gun or move aggressively down the field. That's when minor penalties are going to come. So
yeah, and I do now see that penalty on the board there down. DMG had that penalty. Unfortunately, we're not exactly sure what it's for, but we will come back to you after this point, and we'll try and figure it out for you.
Well, it was oh, they had too many men.
Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So they are going to start down a body here, and T1 Topgun Union trying to get something going here on the power play as they break out, and it looks like they lose a body. Oh, I thought that was going to maybe be a penalty too.
He was reaching.
You know, you're seeing the line for T1 Topgun Union right now down the snake side of the field as they get their front player up into the first notch of the snake, into snake 1 there on your screen, and he's going to try to wrap around. Really, I was going to say nothing stopping him as he can progress forward up here. Now he's into snake 2. Okay, now finally is somebody picking him up. It doesn't really look like they're putting much pressure. The DMG is putting much pressure over here on the snake side of the field.
Yeah, Chris Scherer, he dove hard into that big Dorito on the snake side right away. Got into the snake, and now he's looking to get some kills. Trying to shoot Nate Schrader across the field, who bumps into the Dorito 1. He has been doing a lot of the damage for Sacramento right now, and he is looking to attack, checking the wire, trying to get up the field again into Dorito 2 as the first player comes out of the penalty box
and
for DMG.
Makes it out clean.
Straight into the big Dorito on the snake side and starts shooting across the field.
So nice job by DMG to suck off that 1-minute minor penalty, and then he immediately goes to work, gets right into the snake.
You know, we talked about that, Maddie. You come out of that box, now they're mirrored up in the snake, but now, you know, the back left corner you see on the side of your screen, he's trying to control that snake and try and get his guy to bump up a little bit. Great move on the mark on DMG, getting up in that snake as quick as they did, Maddie.
Yeah, that's textbook. Kill the penalty and then come out of the box and immediately get in there and start making an impact for your team. So DMG now trying to put a 3rd point on the board. It is so hard in this race to 7 points to come back once you're down 3-0. So this is a fundamentally important point here for T1 Topgun Union, and now they're starting to get a couple kills here. Only 2 players left alive for DMG, Borromeo and Brusselback still trying to get something done for DMG, but they're going to get tapped out. And so here comes T1 Topgun Union.
You know, they need that point right there, as you said, Todd, Maddie, that there's a crucial pinnacle of the game that if you go down 3 points, you know, we talk about that all the time. It's not good for the team, first of all. But you know what? You know, they came out of the box, and I really thought they had control of that game for a second, and then they started dropping bodies.
Yeah, well, if you're the coach of DMG, that's a pretty frustrating point for you because you come out and you kill the penalty, do a great job, everybody's alive, and then you just get guys start dying out of their bunkers, and you're already up 2-0, and that's, hey, we put that 3rd point on the board, man. It's almost a done deal because the statistics, analytics on coming back from 3-0 not looking good. I mean, only about 8% of teams are able to do that. So let's check a little comparison here of these 2 matchups on the breakout. See, there's that breakout for DMG. Pretty conservative breakout as they double up that stand-up tempo over here on the snake side of the field. And then much more aggressive as they were only looking at 4 guns on the side for Trenton Topgun.
You know, and Trenton Topgun's doing a good job of getting in that snake right away, that last point. They knew they had to come up. They knew that DMZ's up by 2 points right now. Let's get a little aggressive, plus we're up a body, you know, get down the field, and they did a really good job about that.
Yeah, and you see that referee running in there to pull the player out. I mean, obviously the referee's going to try to pull people out, but anytime you see a referee, like, sprint over with, like, intensity in his step,
yeah.
Anytime that happens, I'm always thinking, oh, my God, it might be a penalty for that team, so...
Yeah, I'm used to them running at me like that. I'm like, that's usually when I take off.
If he's doing one of these.
Yeah, reach
or one of these
for the flag. Like, where's my flag?
Like he's looking
it's
for
coming. Getting that penalty. Yeah, if you
that's
see
usually
that,
when Chris goes. I'm taking off this way.
But yeah, like we talked about, we have a new penalty box. I mean, we're going to touch on that a little bit. We had a guy come out of the box for DMG on that point, you know, but it's a different penalty box, and it's actually, I like the new penalty box.
Yeah, I like it too. It's one of those double-edged swords. You know, you can't sit there and watch the game develop. You're blocked out. You can't see. So, you know, if there is some sort of penalty, you do get caught. Then you end up in that box. You can't sit there, watch the game unfold, and then come out. You have to, you know, pick a side and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And we saw that DMG player came running out towards the snake side, dove straight into the Dorito, and, I mean, made his choice. Came out. You can see the box right there. You know, instead of coming straight out of the front of it now and having the opposition just pounding the box as soon as you're ready to come out, now you actually have a chance to come blazing out one of the sides and try and get into a bunker.
So here we go, DMG on the breakout on your screen and starting to move up in that center. Aggressive move by DMG all the way up to the 40-yard line. Now right to the 50 up in that center there, dead center of your screen, rolling his gun towards the Dorito side. Is that the side you guys think you want to lock down up from that center? Todd, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it really kind of depends on how the other team breaks out. You know, there's good shots on both sides of the field from the middle as DMG grabs a penalty. That's going to be 27. I believe that's Brusselback. He's running to the box, gets Shane Howe pulled, but DMG had the early body advantage in that game. They shot Andrew Johnson out of that snake corner right away, but get that penalty right there just cost them 2 bodies, and Chris Shear came down that snake.
You know, and as we talked about, you know, I mean, now it's a 2-2 game. It's looking like, you know, Trenton Topgun getting that penalty, and Maddie, you said it the best. You get those minor or major penalties, they can kill you in the box.
Yeah, that's a frustrating situation. If I'm that guy running up in the center and I do my job, I get up there, I get all the way up, and I'm starting to lock a lane down, and then all of a sudden I look back and 3 of my guys are walking off, somebody got a penalty, that's, again, you got to stay out of the box. All right, and we're going to be right back after this. All right, we are back here. DMG taking on Topgun Union. So next up after this, Texas Storm going to be taking on Sacramento Excessive. And, you know, Sacramento Excessive, a legendary team, been playing professionally for, I think this is actually the 9th year of their existence. And they're really having a frustrating year. So they're on deck and ready to roll. And it's frustrating. I played on Excessive to see them not be able to lose. I'm sorry, to be losing as many games as they are. So they really are going to have to step it up against a really hungry Texas Storm team. So, and then after that, we got LA Infamous taking on Omaha Vicious. But here we go, DMG, Topgun Union.
And it looked like Top Gun blew the horn that last event, so it gave the point to DMG. But so DMG now has a 3-1 lead. Top Gun continues to attack the middle of the field, but DMG playing down with just 4 bodies as Brusselback is serving his major penalty.
You know what's pretty crazy when you're looking at the stats for this game so far? We're 4 points in, but Nathan Schroeder has 7 confirmed kills so far.
That's awesome. I mean, you talk about one player standing out on any given day. I mean, this field kind of thrives for players like that in the snake and up the middle, Maddie and Todd. I mean, it's just one of those fields where you're going to get up. You can get 2 or 3 kills right away.
Yeah, and here we have Akita in the snake
with Shane
for
Howe.
Top Gun.
Shane Howe in the snake right there on the screen, trying to shoot cross field. You see the top 50, Dorito, plus in the center right there. Shane Howe will chop these guys up if they continue to move down the field.
Yeah, so Shane Howe in the snake is getting a shot on the player on your screen right there. And so look how much we've already seen the center come into play. And as these teams start scouting these games and getting their legs underneath them and figuring out what's working for them specifically, you know, I think we're going to see the attacks launch down different sides of the field. Oh, Shane Howe might have got a shot on, I think that's Steven Lasher up there in the center.
You know, we talked about him. You know, he's mirrored up right now on your screen. That's Top Gun Union. Oh, look at that shot, Maddie, like you talked about. That's a tough shot right there. Top Gun on your screen, getting up the middle.
Well, and Shane Howe has backed all the way behind Snake 1. Now he's laying down way behind the snake, trying to kind of ghost out there and get a shot because he's looking at 2 bodies on the 50-yard line for Top Gun. They have the 50 Dorito. They also have the 50 center structure. And, oh, they might have lost T1 Top Gun. I think just lost their snake. They did. So now DMG with 3 players over here on the snake side of the field, but they are stuck in their, just hiding in their bunkers because the pressure is coming from that Dorito side and that center.
You know, Akita gets shot out of that snake, but quickly filled again by Top Gun, realizing how important it is, but he pops up and catches one square in the goggles, and he's going to come walking off right now.
So Top Gun really dropping the ball over here on the snake side. They have such good field position on the 50s and the snake, I'm sorry, in the Doritos, but then he gets run down. So wow, what a great job by DMG to absorb the aggressive moves off the break, and Steven Lasher trying to make a desperation move, kind of forgetting that there's still 3 bodies over here on the snake side of the field.
And DMG, better gunfighters during this match right now. You know, they started with a penalty 4-on-5, able to get out to their spots. Lasher attacked the middle, didn't let it phase them, played tight. Shane Howe got in that snake, and they communicated. controlled the snake wire, and as hard as Top Gun was pushing down that Dorito side, they just chopped him up, put another point on the board, 4-1. So we got a timeout on the field. We'll be right back after these messages.
Money back in cash. Sign up, win, paint's free. Take second, get half your paint cash back. Not good enough? How about more cash? Have your team rock our V-Force GI logo grills, get first place, then we'll throw you another $1,000 cash. Second place? No problem. We got $500 with your name on it. It's a total no-brainer. Sign up for the Imperial program at gisports.com.
And we are back here, 2013 PSP Chicago Open. We're watching Sacramento DMG take on Trenton Topgun. And Topgun, they're making good moves. They're getting to good spots, and then a couple guys die around them. They get a penalty. It's just they haven't been playing 100% paintball. And unfortunately for them, that means the DMG, who's been looking real solid, shooting their guns real well, and Nate Schroeder is stepping up. It gets 7 confirmed kills just into that last point. So DMG looking real strong, looking like the team we've seen win Division I tournaments before.
Yeah, Schrader. I mean, he's a really talented player that I've been watching now for a couple years, and I'm really impressed with him and the hard work that he's put in. He's determined to be a top tier player in this league. So it's good to see him stepping up early in the morning, especially if you're a fan of Sacramento DMG.
All right, let's check out this replay here. So player coming out of the penalty box for DMG and able to immediately gun up. So far we've seen some players have some success coming out of that penalty box and able to play a factor in this matchup so far.
And I do like that. As long as you come out of that door and you have forward motion, they're going to let you continue to play. Like I said, I'm a big fan of this box right now because I like the not knowing. You can either run down the wire and shoot 5 guys, or you run out to 5 guns.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
it is a pretty dramatic element, I'm really interested to see how it plays out here. So 10 minutes and 57 seconds left here in regulation here in this race to 7 points. In the Challengers Division, DMG controlling the action thus far against Top Gun Union. Score 4-1. Got about 1 minute and 17 seconds left here on this Top Gun timeout. And we have Texas Storm and Sacramento Excessive on deck, ready to throw down. That is also the Challengers Division, and the way that it works, 2 professional divisions, the champs and the challengers. 2 teams from the Challengers Division. The first and second place teams will move up to play in the Champions Division at the West Coast Open in August. And then 2 teams from the Champions Division will get relegated down. One of the best stories of the tournament, I can't wait to see how this plays out, is Moscow Red Legion, legendary team, world championship team a couple years ago. In a rebuilding stage right now, though, and they got relegated down to the Challengers Division. So they're going to have to fight their way back, and we'll be giving you those scores as they come in here and as they start to play later on today. And then after the Texas Storm Sacramento Excessive game, coming at you at 9 o'clock Central Time, and we're going to have the beginning of the Champions League with Los Angeles Infamous taking on Omaha Vicious.
I'm excited for that game personally. I love the boys. I love LA Infamous. They started off slow last tournament.
Yeah, and you helped start that team, Chris. So that's kind of one of those teams that even though you no longer play with them, it's kind of like Excessive. For me, I helped start Excessive. So you always kind of really don't want to see them fall and fail like Infamous did the first day of last event, but they're still in the Champs Division and definitely a favorite here at this event. So here we go. On your screen, T1 Top Gun pushing up the field in the center, but getting taken out. And not much penetration over here on the Snake side either.
And that was Ryan Martin again, getting up in that 50X, the A up the middle. He's like getting aggressive. They got to do something, Matty. It's 4-1 right now.
Yeah, Brusselback taking the walk early for DMG as well as Simon Dorville. And he got shot by Heyman Chapman. So Heyman Chapman, he has 3 confirmed kills so far in this matchup. Heyman Chapman had started the season with the Tauntauns coming in from France. And, the Tauntauns came in, and we're going to see them this afternoon. But they had picked up a couple American players, both of them now back on Top Gun. So Stephen Lasher and Heyman Chapman had gone from Top Gun to the Tauntauns. But now they're back to try to help their boys make their way into the Champions League. But they're going to have to bring a little bit more game out there than they're taking to DMG right now, because with a little under 10 minutes to play, score still 4-1 here.
Yeah, that's Chris Shear down there in the Snake right now. trying to get a shot in on Borromeo and Ormrod. The two bodies left over here for DMG. Chris Shear all the way down at the end of the snake, just getting pounded from across the field. But, you know, the body advantage, Top Gun does have one extra body. Need to get involved, and here he comes, Andrew Johnson out of the snake.
Oh, look at this huge move on the Dorito side of the field for DMG. It looks like he's still alive all the way on to Top Gun's side of the field.
And Matty, you talked about that earlier, man. You could run down that Dorito side and just blazing. What a great move right there by DMG.
Yeah, I think that was Borromeo over there.
Yeah,
Borromeo making that huge move and breaking the game open.
Unbelievable. And, you know, you said it best earlier, Matt. I mean, you can go down either side, and that was a desperation move, so to speak, because they were on their heels right there, Matty.
Actually, that was Ormrod. That was Aaron Ormrod who made that move. Borromeo was over here on the snake side of the field, and Ormrod was the one who stepped up over there, made that dynamic play, and that's a big-time play right there. You got a team on the ropes. It's 4-1.
Down a body.
Down a body. And you step up, make a dynamic play, shoot a bunch of guys, and then make that score 5-1. So let's check out this replay over here. Look at this move by Ormrod. Launches all the way from the stand-up tempo, runs the 50-yard line down. That was, yeah, beautiful, beautiful play.
Now, and then he ended up in the back side of Trenton Topgun. I mean, it was, what a great move. And, you know, that's what this is all about. I mean, making moves like that, that's what sets you apart.
Well, we were talking about sometimes teams get slow starts. DMG is not getting a slow start right now. Yeah, it's looking really good right now. Looks like we have the fourth member of our broadcast team, Lauren Kelly, down on the sidelines with one of the DMG players. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, down here in the DMG pit with Dave Baines. Dave, this is a really aggressive field. What did you guys focus on during practices to make sure you dominated it?
You know, these kids are all really young and fast and athletic, so they kind of just did their thing, and it's pretty easy. You know, I don't really, kind of like a standoffish guys or stand back kind of guy, and they do their thing and they just ask for a little advice when they need it.
Obviously playing on a pro team, what kind of advice did you give them about this format?
You know, just talk and communicate and don't lose focus on that, and just be you know, just be aggressive.
Awesome. We'll see if they can win this one.
Hi Mom, love you.
Yeah, so big Dave Baines, man. It always helps to have Dave Baines in your corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, like having Dave Baines in your corner is like having Customato out there for Mike Tyson back in the day. You know, that was one of the reasons that he became as good as he was. And to have Dave Baines as the guy who's coaching your team, you know, and DMG that's one of his projects.
Yeah, I love it when he calls me Mom too.
On the breakout right now, DMG coming out of the box.
So here we go. So yeah, DMG dominating lead right now against Top Gun Union, who really hasn't been able to get any sort of offense going once they've made their initial spots. And here we go, minor penalty on Top Gun.
Yeah, and that's just that. You know, they got a G on the break, Matty. Trenton Topgun, but then they lose a player in the Dorito. Like coming all the way down the snake right here. DMG being super aggressive. That's number 27, Brusselback.
Yeah, you know, penalties. You know, we always talk about how penalties can kill a team. Top Gun has gotten a few penalties this game, but that hasn't been the difference. The difference here has just been DMG's dominance across the field. DMG's gotten their fair share of penalties this game already too, but not really the determining factor. DMG just playing better paintball right now. They came out more hungry to start the morning here.
Yeah, and I'm disappointed in Trenton. I really thought that with the talent that they have, that this would be a really close match. I mean, obviously we knew that DMG is capable of playing really high-level paintball. We've seen them win tournaments before, and I really was expecting this to be a lot closer, and at that point wasn't even close. I really was expecting this to be, you know, 3-3, 4-4, and then maybe one team was going to take it away after that, but I didn't really expect DMG to come out and pound Top Gun like they are right now. Score 6-1. So DMG 1 point away from taking this victory here, first match of the day. We'll be right back after these commercial messages. we are back here. Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez and Chris Lasoya. It's been all DMG here in this first matchup, but we have a full day of professional paintball competition coming at you here. PSP 2013 Chicago Open, brought to you live by PaintballAccess.com. Let's check out the rest of the games today. Next up, Texas Storm going to be taking on Sacramento Excessive. Sacramento Excessive still yet to win a match so far this year, which has been a huge shocker, as they are, historically been one of the best teams in the world. So trying to fight their way out of the Challengers Division. Then we start the Champions Division with LA Infamous and Vicious. Dynasty going to be taking on X Factor after that. These times are all central. And then at 11:15, Ironman, Vicious, and then Infamous, X Factor. And then we will start the afternoon competition. And so yeah, lots of awesome games coming at you all day today here. And let's see if DMG can put the last one on the board here and give Top Gun a loss for their first match.
And DMG is going to get a penalty to start, as they had too many bodies on the field.
Again, that's twice they've done this.
And also, I just saw a major penalty go up on Trenton Topgun. That almost puts the nail in the coffin. I mean, he had it. Shane Howe taking the walk, you see right there, for DMG. It's just been back and forth battle right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Top Gun looking like they have a chance here, but penalties on both sides. 7 minutes and 24 seconds. Let's check in real quick here with Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, I am here with Jim Rentschler. You guys, you were down 5. You still had 7 minutes on the clock. What's going on out there? What do you guys need to fix?
We had great practice yesterday against Heat. The guys are really pumped up. I think the adrenaline's going a little too much. Not to take anything away from DMG, but they have our number today, and we're going to try to make it respectable here. The guys have the heart, and they're just ready to put it together.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, so it looks like Top Gun going to take this point here. And, DMG going to take that final point. Well, checking him out, see if he's clean. But if he is clean, that will do it. And, yeah, it was how many? They get a major penalty for too many guys again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, hey, I'm not going to knock them too much.
Well, just as I was saying that the penalties weren't the cause of Top Gun, they get a major penalty off the break right there.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they had the advantage on the break, because DMG was about to get the too many bodies penalty, could have taken advantage of that, instead get a major penalty of their own. And then DMG just too much this morning right now.
Yeah.
Came out hit hard.
Yeah, they look real good, crisp gunfights. Looked like they were very focused out there. A lot of times, we talk about this, is that it's tough. First game of the day, first match of the day, but these guys practice a lot, so there's really no excuse to get a slow start. But the fact of the matter is, sometimes you do get a slow start. DMG did not get a slow start at all. They looked great with their game plans, except for trying to put 6 dudes out there to start their points. But other than that, DMG looked, other than a few minor mental mistakes as far as putting too many guys out. They did get a couple penalties, but man, they made their spots. Great gunfighting out of them. Top Gun's really going to have to step it up here as they take this 7-1 loss. It's not going to help their point spread out. And we're going to be right back with Sacramento Excessive taking on Texas Storm. See you in a second.
how's it going? My name's Kyle, and I'm going to take you on a tour of the A&S Gear Warehouse. So go ahead and follow me. This is our retail showroom where we have all the latest and greatest gear. Go ahead and follow me back to the warehouse. In this aisle of our gun room, we have some die products. We've got our die rotors, we've got some die guns, we've got our GOG Ecstasies. In this aisle, we have some of our Luxes, we have some of our tanks, we've got some Bob Longs and some Empire axes. On this aisle, we have some more of our Luxes, we have our Planet Eclipse, we got the LV1, and all the way down, we have all of our Ninja tanks. In our gear bag aisle, we have